Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, to send me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Moonlight Castle. So yeah, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Excuse me, anyway else, go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Rooming myself, I kept thinking about the castle. However, soon afterward, I realized that there were more important things to think about other than the castle. Firstly, I definitely needed to talk things out with Ryan, and second, I had to focus myself more on studying. Those adventures and romances had distracted me long enough, and it wasn't like I had enough time in my days to give proper attention and care needed in order to maintain the latter. And then, realizing that I couldn't, yet again, keep my own thoughts under control, I heaved a sigh. Glancing over at my phone on the shelf, I saw Ryan's message popping up on the screen. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. You awake? I just finished showering and now I'm preparing my notes. All right, I'm there. Tell me when you're ready to go. From the way he typed, it seemed he was fine. I was kind of scared that he'd bring up what happened last night already. Maybe he was aware of that. If he brought it up, I'd lock myself away and refuse to look at him. If that was the case, then that'd be quite smart of him. I was overthinking this again, wasn't I? I did what I did. Running away would only make things worse. I'd deal with it eventually. However, that didn't mean he needed to mention it. All geared up with my backpack on my back and my phone in my pocket, I took a deep breath as I walked out of my apartment. When the bear saw me, he just nodded, and there was nothing else. It seemed today I wasn't going to get the usual warm welcome from him. Morning. Hey, how's your head? Feeling any better? I'm good. Great, let's go. Ryan turned on the engine, and as he was driving, we were in complete silence. There was a strange feeling growing inside me. The bear being quiet wasn't something I was used to. It just seemed out of his character. His face also looked kind of serious, maybe even angry. Ryan? Is everything okay? I'm fine. He clearly wasn't, though. Feeling guilty, I clenched the legs of my pants. Was it the kiss? He only glanced at me briefly, then he kept looking at the road. I couldn't help getting extremely embarrassed. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to bring it up in the first place. No, actually, I'm quite grateful you did that. That's not something you say to me. Eventually he smiled. Maybe seeing me humiliated was just too much for him to keep a straight face. You're exaggerating. Doesn't matter. You're cheered up now, so I win. You sure? You win. Speak up then. What's bothering you? It's just family stuff. It's nothing important, really. Come on, Ryan. Spit it out. We had a stupid argument. That's enough, right? Let's just drop it. Was it really just that? I can't be that stupid. Not when you're not being yourself like this. I could have a bad day too, you're not the only one. Fine, I won't push it then. The bear was glaring at me. It seemed he didn't want to let me help him, and he was getting defensive. I suppose I wouldn't want to get caught in the crossfire anyway. I looked at my phone, though not for long, as the bear was nudging me to get my hands off of it. We've arrived. We were in front of Russell's. It seemed I didn't notice that the car had stopped. Yeah, sorry. Although I wish Russell's business could get better, I was kind of relieved that the place was empty today. It's like, water time. Slowly, we approached our usual seats. Hello. Russell greeted us, however, we didn't really respond. We placed our orders without thinking much, and I was wondering why, as I wasn't really hungry. Make me some honey tea, no sugar. Okay, what's happening? The bull stared at the bear, and the latter just shrugged. The former then turned to look at me instead. I don't know myself. He refused to tell me. Just let me be and make breakfast. I have reasons to keep it to myself. Is that what you really want? Joel wouldn't keep things from you. The bear didn't answer. He kept avoiding our gazes. Eventually, Russell left us in order to prepare food. Normally, I wouldn't let this kind of stuff get in the way of my day. Without delay, the cook came back to set our table. All of us hide things from others sometimes. For that reason alone, I respect your decision. Just so you know, though, at the moment, your words don't match your face. And the bull then left us again. We were in silence, and it was quite painful. Even the food didn't help me. Surely it tasted great. However, I was too distracted by the issue at hand. Ryan looked awful. After each small bite, he'd stare at the empty void in front of him. Even I, a slow eater, finished my food way before he was any close to finishing his. I felt powerless. Was there nothing I could do for him? I gave a smile to Russell, who was busy arranging stock in the back, left payment for our food on the counter, and took a walk out of the shop for some fresh air. The idea of just leaving the place and walking to the campus by myself was tempting me. However, in the end, I was still only a coward, so I ended up just standing behind the car. It wasn't long until Ryan also came out of the shop, and it seemed he couldn't find me, as I saw him look frantically in all directions. Once he spotted the tip of my hat sticking out from behind the car, though, he just let out a deep sigh of relief. The bear walked himself to me and unlocked the car so we could get in it. The two of us just sat in the car without saying anything to each other for a while, and I wasn't even looking at him. "This is yours." Turning around, I saw him trying to hand me the same money I'd left on the counter. "Keep it." "Please, take it." His hand inched toward me, and he opened it wide so that the cash was readily up for grabs. It really pissed me off. "No!" I lashed out at him and pushed him away. The coins scattered on the car's floor, and the bear just stared at me. "Well, I'm sorry." Disbelief he must be. Excuse me. Eventually, he started the engine and drove us out of the parking lot. It took him a while, and for all that long while, both of us were silent. However, at long last, he spoke about what he had on his mind. "Don't you hate being gay?" That kind of caught me off guard. There you go. "Have you ever thought that if you could, you'd rather be straight?" I used to. "I keep thinking about it all the time." Anyone constantly having to deal with others' hate of themselves probably does, at least once in their life. "How did you stop?" I sighed, and before answering him, I tugged the fur on his arm. "I thought about you. I thought about how I wouldn't want you with... I thought about how I wouldn't have you with me here by my side. I would have become a completely different person. Maybe I even would have become one of those haters, and that would have made my life easier. But I'd never want that. I'd never give up what I have right now for anything else. To me, you're just way more important than that." "Oh, fuck!" We stopped by a red light, and Ryan was hiding his face behind his arm. His other hand was rubbing his face, probably his teeth, probably his eyes. "You good?" "Please let me have some quiet." It seemed he didn't want me to see. Our car began moving again shortly after that. However, we didn't say anything. In addition to traffic, there wasn't any sound other than his runny nose and sniffles. It wasn't until he parked the car on our campus that we began to talk again. "Hey." "I know what you want. I know what you want to say." "I won't say it then. I trust you." "Thanks." Reluctantly, I left the car and let him have his peace and quiet. Before I walked through the crowd to get in the building, I took a glance back at the car. Ryan was burying his head into a makeshift pillow that he'd make out of his arms. I was tempted to skip my morning class and stay with him. However, it was clear that he wanted space. Therefore, if I truly cared about him, I had to respect the boundary he'd set. I tried to move on, but the more I tried, the more exhausted I felt, without progress. The unfinished business between us really ruined my motivation for the lecture. "Hey, Joel!" Like the little gremlin that Liam was, the lynx popped out of nowhere and hummed my name in his usual teasing tone. "How's my best friend doing?" He sat next to me. "I'm fine." As soon as those words left my mouth, I could hear how bad I actually sounded. Even the lynx broke out of his character immediately upon hearing them. "Wow, that was awful." It appeared we were able to talk. However, it wasn't the best time. The lecture's about to start. "Yeah, I know. The classic anti-Liam protocol." "This is the front row." "Come with me to the back, then." "No, you're too distracting. I have to take notes of what the professor says." "You're in denial. Look at your face. There's no way you can keep up with the class right now." I wondered if he was being more observant than usual, or if it was just that obvious. "Trust me, for I'm Liam, Master Entertainer, with power to make all your problems disappear." "Sorry, I only know Liam, Mr. Harasser, the licensed liar." "As I said, trust me." I just stared at him and let the latter part of his joke die from awkward silence. "Just go already." He got up and looked at me once more. "Seriously, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Get to the ring while the circus is still there." He walked to the back of the class, and I tried to pay him no mind as I listened to the professor, who had just begun talking. However, the lecture was just too fast-paced for me to keep up with. It seemed my brain really was too tired or preoccupied with other things to process the information in the class. The beginning and end of each topic felt like separate subjects to me, and the notes I wrote were extremely messy and incoherent. I wouldn't learn or remember anything by reading these. Halfway through the class, I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't get Ryan and Liam's voices out of my head. Eventually, I gave in. Standing up, I excused myself from the class and strode toward the door. It seemed Liam was watching me leave. I was pretty sure that he was staring at me when I headed to the door. "Do I take that as a yes to my offer?" Just as I was about to calm down, the lynx poked his head out of the room to look at me. I guess that he meant he was definitely staring. My chest felt heavy, and I was clenching it without realizing. He grinned and soon after that moved out of the room as well, closing the door behind him. So, to the canteen, now. Aye, aye, sir, let's go. Actually, I wasn't really sure if he could do anything to help with the worries. However, I figured that just getting it off my chest would be enough to ease the stress. The canteen was almost empty. It was perfect for having conversations without getting disturbed. Get on with it. I have plans too, you know. I was playing with my thumbs as I tried to buy time for myself. It was kind of difficult to look at him while talking about this. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe I should use the hat. Ryan's upset about something today. I'm going to need more details. I let it aside before I told everything that I knew to the Lynx, even though I myself didn't know much. Family issues, huh? I just don't get it. Why wouldn't he tell me? I always tell him about everything. Am I not close enough to him to know? The Lynx scratched his chin and took a bit of time to ponder it. You know that he's obsessed with you, right? Maybe that's part of the reason he's keeping it from you. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Even more reason to tell me. I have an idea. Does it involve what I think it does? Of course. Who do you think I am? Let's fuck around a bit. Can we not? Shush, just sit and listen. He made a phone call. I wondered who it was that he was trying to reach. After a few seconds, I began to freak out internally. What if he went crazy and called Ryan just to ask? What are you... Shut up or you'll ruin it! I was throwing hands at him, silently trying to stop the call. However, it didn't seem to have any effect. Hello? Who's this? I didn't expect to hear Patrice's voice from that end of the line. It kind of made me curious enough that I let go of the Lynx. Hey, Patrice, how are you? Oh, it's the devil, here to collect souls. The tiger's tone changed from friendly to cold in a matter of seconds. Come on, don't be so rude. Aren't we friends? We've known each other the longest. You know I deleted your number years ago. Yet you didn't block it. You're pushing your luck here, Lynx. Alright, I'll be blunt. I called you to talk about Ryan. There was a pause from the other side, although it wasn't that noticeable. The Lynx's ears perked up at that, and a wicked smile took shape on the spotted feline's face. So you know, water time. Talk to Ryan himself, then. I did. He didn't listen. You're closer to him than I am. Could you please help convince him to open up to Joel? Wow. Slow down. You're lying, aren't you? There's no way Ryan would tell you anything, let alone ask for your advice. Cut the crap and drop that prejudice already. Listen to me. I don't need to know anything. I just want you to help him. There was a long silence. Patrice was probably trying to process the situation. It's kind of weird you're bringing this up. I told him the same thing and he didn't listen. I don't blame him, though. I don't think that I could see it through either if I were in his shoes. Yeah, I get it. Family sucks. I've been there, but I think he's making it 10 times worse by keeping it to himself, especially when it's about Joel. It's not a simple matter when his own family threatens to cut his college funds if he doesn't stop hanging out with Joel. I took a step backward, and Liam immediately lowered his phone to look at me. Our eyes met. It felt as if the world had stopped turning. Liam? Liam, are you listening? Yes, you're absolutely right. Oh, looks like Dylan's coming. I'll text you later. Don't. I'll see what I can do. The call was cut. My knees just gave in to my weight. Finally, I pieced it together. All the things we did. They were watching. They'd always been watching and keeping a close look at the two of us. And last night, that kiss was the last straw. The effort we'd made in order to hide ourselves and feel safe, it didn't matter, and it never did. Bits were leaking. They'd always been. I was about to lose him. All just because I couldn't hold myself and keep my shit together. Alright, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!